Hello, thanks for joining today. Today I'm going to do another which shoe for you video comparison between two very good trail shoes from different brands. First I have the Topo Mountain Racer 3 and I have the Salomon Genesis. I think they are very comparable. They've got some good features in both of them, and I think they're both good shoes. But I just wanted to give you a comparison of some of the similarities and differences, and let you decide which one you might like better. First of all, I'm going to start off by saying the price of both shoes is identical. They both cost $150. They both, I think, are good all-around trail shoes with a fair amount of stack height. The stack height in the Mountain Racer is 33 in the heel, 28 in the forefoot for a 5mm drop. The stack height in the Genesis is 35 in the heel, 27 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop. They both have very grippy outsoles that I think are good in most all conditions. Good for technical terrain. The only thing I will say is I think the Salomon's, the rubber is a little bit firmer, a little bit hard, and you get a little bit more flexibility out of the Vibram Mega Grip on the Topo. So I found that the only place that I really found a difference was when I was running out at Cedar Ridge Preserve. There's a lot of erosion ties, the wooden ties, and I felt much more secure in the Mountain Racers, probably because the rubber was a little bit more forming to the ground, and these were very stiff, so I just felt a little more stable and a little more secure in the Mountain Racers. I find both shoes have very comfortable uppers. There's a nice engineered mesh that's very breathable on the Mountain Racers. There's a matrix upper on the Salomon Genesis, and I actually kind of prefer the matrix upper, but they're both good uppers. Not a problem with either one. I also find that the quick lace system is kind of cool on the Salomon, but the laces on the Topo are also very good and stay in place well. They've got their little lace say system that the laces go through that keeps them in place. The Salomon tongue is actually gusseted, so it stays in place really well. So I might give a slight edge on the upper to the Salomon, but they are both very good uppers still. As far as the midsole goes, the midsole of the Topo Mountain Racer uses their zip foam formula, which is an EVA compound. It is, like I said, it's a good compound, very comfortable. The midsole on the Salomon, I would say, is more of a balanced sort of midsole. The midsole of the Topo, I think, is a little bit softer. Even though you get 2 more millimeters more stack height in the heel on this one, the Topo still feels a little softer, but they are both still very cushioned and comfortable, good shoes. Now, one of the primary differences I would say between the two is the toe box width. I have had trouble running in Salomons in the past just because their toe boxes tend to be quite narrow, and I like having room for my toes to splay. The Genesis is a bit wider than most of the Salomons, so I found I could wear them fine, no problem. I would still say they're pretty true to size, though you do end up with some extra length to the toes. But they actually fit me pretty well. But as far as toe box size, there's no doubt that the Topo is wider, and I kind of prefer that, but they're both very comfortable shoes. They both have good protection on the forefoot. Toe bumpers to protect you from the elements. There's actually lots of similarities. I think they're both extremely good shoes. It just comes down to kind of preferences. I kind of lean a little bit more toward the Topo just because of the wider toe box and the 5mm drop. I tend to prefer shoes that are 6mm or less. This is an 8mm drop, and I still find these shoes extremely comfortable, but I just, for putting a lot of miles in, I'm more likely to use the Mountain Racer from Topo. But very good shoes. If you don't mind an 8mm drop, this is still a great shoe. I will say that most trail shoes, they don't make stability versions, partly because stability is hard to build into a trail shoe when you're going to be hitting so many different variations and surfaces. But these both accomplish having some stability, a fair amount of stability. I would say the Topo is doing it more by having the wide base, so you're able to land on the wide base, and that gives you stability. You don't have the wide base in the Salomon, but they have something that they call their active chassis. So you'll see these buildups on the outside and on the inside of the shoe, and that definitely gives it some stability to keep you from rolling in or out. So again, very good features, very good shoes from both brands. It's just comes down to what you prefer. Anyway, that is my comparison between the Salomon Genesis and the Topo Mountain Racer 3. If you found it interesting, please consider hitting the thumbs up, the like button. If you're interested in any more of my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. And other than that, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and keep moving.